Good morning. Well, actually, more like good afternoon. I'm actually cooking, but I want to come on this live stream. I'm going to sit down and do a live stream in a few minutes, right? But I'm cooking right now, and I just couldn't believe what I saw, right in front of my eyes. So I want to do this quick live stream. Let me turn the heat off with this food. Got my steam going up. Boom, 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 boom. Can't show you the whole pot. But look, Ethereum is at $1,500. Let me switch my screen. I fix my hair all at the same time. All right, let me show you this real quick. And settings, how do I change this? Give me a second. I had a stylist here when my nails won't be in the way. But listen, a lot of you all, you're not going to get this opportunity again. And you may be thinking, okay, I won't get the opportunity for the wealth transfer. But this is the thing. It's even bigger than that. Not only are you going to miss out. Not only are you going to miss out on this wealth transfer, but if you do nothing, Ether $1,555. Bitcoin going back up. Now I know we still got a long ways to go from the all-time high of Ethereum. But this is it. This is the thing, people. Let me get my hand out because this is on my phone and this is just an impromptu live stream. You all come in, say hello. Hey, Sci-Fi Cat. You said finally able to hear me live. Where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? Hello, Sharon. Hello to you. I got my nails all in the way. I need this to hold my phone. But anyway, this is an impromptu live stream, so I'm not going to be on here long. But Sci-Fi Cat, that's a interesting name. Sci-Fi Cat, love that, love that, love that. Hey, I thought about not doing live streams anymore, just doing uploads. A lot of the bigger channels do a lot of uploads, and they don't do a live stream because live stream it takes away a lot of my time away, and we know that time is more valuable than money because you can't get your time back. And so when I'm live stream, I like to connect with the people, but when I look at the time I put into it to the financial value that I get back in return, it's just not really worth my while a live stream, right? So I'm gonna do uploads more, but I want to do this impromptu live stream, right? I got my food on the oven, so I won't be long, to let people know, especially the middle class, right? Especially the middle class, that you are missing out on the biggest wealth transfer if you don't have. Hell, all right, from Michigan. From Michigan, thank you for tuning in. If you're not into silver, if you're not into cryptocurrency, and if you're not getting your cash flow up, if you're not maximizing your cash flow, if you're not into silver, if you're not into cryptocurrencies, why cryptocurrencies? Let me put a disclaimer on that, certain cryptocurrencies, people, will be a part of this wealth transfer. Not all of them, right? You got some cryptocurrencies that are junk cryptos. Why silver? Because gold and silver will be used to reset this currency system when the switch from central banks digital currency happens, right? And when this happens, the ratio of gold right now. For example, in the 80s, you could in the 80s purchase 16 ounces of silver with 1 ounce of gold, right? In the 80s. Now you can purchase 90 ounces of silver with 1 ounce of gold. Let me say that again. Let me pull this up. You can purchase 90 ounces of silver with 1 ounce of gold. That lets you know that in the 80s it was like 16. That's how much the value of silver has risen. That's how much the value of silver has risen since the 80s. And it's going to continue to rise because in this bull market, in this reset, it is going to outperform gold. And then gold, right, is not used for everyday transactions anyway. You don't want to use gold, for example, if you have to go to the grocery stores, because the grocery stores are saying that they're not accepting your cash. You don't want to use an $1,800 ounce gold to buy eggs and bread and water, right? You will want to use a $30 ounce of silver for that. But with that being said, it is still other use cases that why silver will outperform gold. Because silver is going to be used for this industrial use. Silver is going to be used for this industrial use. What I mean is it's going to be used for Tesla. You're going to see the push for more electronic vehicles. We haven't seen what gas price is going to be. Gas is going to, and after the Fed meets, after July 30th, when the Federal Reserve meeting happens, we're going to see gas prices spike back up again. And my question to you all is, do you have the cash flow? Cash flow is different than income. Income is what you get from your job. Your cash flow you control, right? Your cash flow you control. But let me get back to gold and silver real quick. And I want you to visit my website, because if you don't have cash flow, you can't even accumulate the amount of silver you need. You can't even afford to invest in this silver, right? You can't afford to stack silver like you need to. People that stack in silver will be millionaires. People that have blue chip cryptocurrencies will be multimillionaires, right? So the current price of gold, let's say is $2,000, right? Let's say gold gets us $2,000. And 1 ounce of silver is $20. You all listening in? Come on now, listen in. I got my food on the stove. I could be eating. I could be at this gym working out because I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I want to stop what I was doing so I can give you this announcement right now. All right, D-Harb is with me. See, this is why I love going live. I don't know how many uploads I'll be able to do, because I love going live with you all. So D-Harb, and my arms are getting tired, so I don't know how long I'll be able to hold this phone. I should have went on my laptop. All right, Miss Gary says yes. So 1 ounce of gold is $2,000, right? All right, 1 ounce of this. 1 ounce of silver is $20. So if the gold to silver ratio is equal to 100, gold will be 100 times more expensive than silver, right? Gold will be 100 times more expensive than silver. Oh, Gwen is so sweet. Thank you, Gwen. I don't know where Gwen be. Gwen be in the background doing stuff. Gwen just sent me a cash app. I guess that would be one reason why I need to probably laugh. Thank you, Gwen. And I affirm we're going to touch and agree that will increase 1,000 times more. Of course, you all see the 1111 in the background, don't you? I live by this code. I live by 1,000 times more. Okay, go ahead. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. You know how I get when crypto get in the green, right? 1,000 times more. You all know what 1,000 times more increase is on, let's just say $11. People, that's at least $1,111. 1,000 times more according to Deuteronomy 1:11. May the Lord thy God increase you. And then it doesn't stop there. It says, and bless you. Right? So the price of gold, for example, is $1,000 an ounce. Silver is $20 an ounce. Then the gold silver ratio is 50-1. Right? I speak on it. I got you. And so with that, the gold silver ratio, right, is 50-1. And so this correlation from one another, the ratio shows that the number of ounces of silver that it takes 50-1 to have 1 ounce of gold, right? And with this being said, the gold ratio is showing you that you can accumulate more silver for a lesser price and get the same value that you would get in putting in $1,700-$1,800 of gold. Right? And so people, this is now let me get into this. Now, does the government manipulate gold and silver prices? They do. Do they manipulate crypto prices? They do. But they don't control it. See, they can't make more gold, they can't make more silver, right? They can't make this. Man cannot make this. They can manipulate it. They can manipulate it, but they cannot make this. And when the time happens, people, you are in the greatest reset. When the time happens, so you can get 50 of these. The gold silver ratio at $2,000 an ounce of gold. You get 50 of these, and let's say it's $20 for $1,000. And gold will be $1,800. That's saving you $800. And this is going to outperform gold in the bull market. That's one reason. If you have excess money left over in a savings account, it is wise to convert as much cash as you can right now into gold. I mean, silver. Silver is very inexpensive, but this is the thing. Most people don't have extra money. That's why I have cash flow on the screen. Middle class, I want you all to listen to me because we're all in the same boat, right? Sort of, kind of. I'm sort of, kind of, right, in the same boat. Crypto took a dive. I went from 7 to 6 figures in crypto, but I'm pushing back up to 7 figures. So I'm still middle class right now by my crypto assets. But I have a lot of cash flow and passive income opportunities from real estate, my crypto investments, from even Instagram is paying me passive income. People, when I tell you passive income is way better than active income, it really is. But let me say this to the middle class, right? Middle class, you have been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. You have been told that if you get these life insurance policies, that you can become wealthy. That's not true for the middle class. See, rich and wealthy people, they did not build their wealth from life insurance policies. And I'm saying that because I have a lot of middle class people that's talking to me about they're spending $300, $400, $500 in an insurance policy. There's people are telling them that's recession proof. But that's only meant if you already have millions to put into it. See, wealthy people and rich people, they use maybe whole life or IUL or cash value life insurance to pass on wealth, but that's not how they build their wealth. Wealthy people, they they don't buy, they don't have their house. I know, listen, I'm in a house. I'm in a house right now. I'm live streaming from my house. But wealthy people are not told that as soon as you get out of college, get into the largest amount of debt that you can and make that big ticket 6 figure or five, five. Well, really, the average home price right now is $300,000. Make the biggest purchase of your life as soon as you graduate and get into 6 figure debt. And rich and wealthy people don't get college degrees and get in 6 or 5 figure debt through college degrees. Now, right now in 2022, it is more expensive. It is more expensive, or just as expensive to rent as it is to have um, a house payment, right? We got rent in Tampa, Florida that's increasing by 45%. So for me, right, I got this house that I'm in after the 2008 recession. So I bought this house really, really cheap. And I tell people, if you want to have equity and cash flow, you buy everything in the dip. I don't get it. Come on, middle class family, talk to me. Why do you all wait till you see crypto in the green and then you start getting in? And then you have some rich and wealthy person then tell you, see, I told you it was a scam. Now, yeah, Ethereum is a long way from its all-time high of $4,865. It is. But Ethereum got have big news coming up. Ethereum is changing from proof of work to proof of stake. And that's very economy friendly, in all cryptocurrencies that are eco-friendly is doing great right now, or will do great in the future, because in Texas, for example, they are shutting down the miners who are mining Bitcoin because they're saying that it's costing too much of electricity and it's a waste to the environment. So Ethereum, percentage wise, not dollar wise, has outperformed Bitcoin. And you have a lot of other cryptocurrencies that are pennies on the dollars right now that will do the same thing in the future. Also, in October, you have regulations that will start for cryptocurrencies, right? And so, people, this is why the rich and wealthy do not get into 6 figure home mortgages debt. They don't get into 5 or 6 figures college degree debt to build their wealth. And they do not use life insurance policies that's going to take $300 to $500, all the way up to $900 a month of their cash flow to build their wealth. Now, once they are wealthy, if you heard about infinite banking and Walt Disney and J.C. Penney, they already had millions to put in a whole life insurance policy, and that roll that millions over so that that money could grow in the recession. And then they began to leverage and take out or borrow against the policy. But guess what? The policy still did not make them wealthy. Walt Disney built Disney's World with that money. J.C. Penney built J.C. Penney. Commercial real estate. That's what made them wealthy. And then they passed that generational wealth to their family and kept it in the family tax-free. But that's not how they built their wealth. And I'm telling the middle class this because you are in things that eating up your cash flow. The only people that's getting rich from selling you these insurance policies is the agents. That's money that you can have in a home-based business and going into crypto and going into silver coins and going into stocking up your pantry. I also say crops that you are throwing out the window, because that is not the wealth building tool. Let me give you this lesson real quick. And I know I'm kind of all over the place. This is an impromptu live stream, right? Let me get back on silver real quick. Yeah, I cut my food off. When President Roosevelt set the price of gold at $35 an ounce in 1934, the gold to silver ratio began to climb to higher levels all the way to 1939. Now, this was at the ending of World War II. This is where the Bretton Woods Agreement came in 1944, 44. You've been seeing that number. Elon Musk buying Twitter for $44 billion. Bretton Woods came in 1944, the double 44. So this is what pegged or connected or tied you all heard of Forex, right? The foreign exchange ratio to the price of gold. So it was connected. It was tied to the price of gold. Now, in the 1960s and then in the 1970s, President Nixon, they abandoned this gold standard. And so beginning in the 80s, silver prices began to decline. And guess what the number is again? In 1991, you all can go fact check this. 1991, silver was as low, it was less than $4 an ounce. Number 4 again. And so now the gold ratio to silver ratio was about 47-1. And now the ratio is increasing, people all the way to 90-1, which means that you can get 90 ounces of silver for cheaper than gold. But it will be equal to the value of 1 ounce of gold. And it will outperform gold. And I know a lot of people saying, buy gold, because it's God's money. So is silver. All is God's creation. Crops, agriculture from the land is God's creation. Diamonds is God's creation. Did you all know that ancient Egyptians actually valued silver more than gold? So when you are investing, you look at the gold to silver ratio as an indicator whether it's a time to buy or sell that metal. And again, D. Harv says they believe investing is like buying a stretch out. Oh my God, you don't even want me to get into that. They believe investing is like buying a stretch out and they don't do research. I'm going to get on that, D. Harv. You are so right. I'm going to get on that. I'm going to tell you why. Not only do Christians believe that way, but non-Christians do too. They believe God is like a scratch-off ticket too. Right? And non-Christians alike. So, now let's go back to 2011. Let's go back to my numbers, 1111. Right? I always talk about 2011 silver. The price of silver was the highest it's ever been at $50 an ounce. And so whenever you see that ratio increase, the gold to silver ratio, it tells you which one to buy. Why people are telling you to buy gold right now? No. Do I believe what will fall again, crypto or silver? Because I'm kind of talking about both. So the price of silver, right, in 2011, the ratio declined again. It went from 80-1 to 45-1. Right? 80-1 to 45-1. Oh, my other phone is ringing. I have to get that call. I probably think, what time is it? Okay, let me wrap this up. That might be an important phone call. So silver rose from around $11 an ounce to $30 an ounce. This is 2011. Then ultimately went to $50 an ounce. The price of gold went from $850 to $1,400, right? So in 2008, around 2008, 80 ounces of silver against 1 ounce of gold. People, listen, listen. Listen, listen, Linda, listen. Listen, Linda, and listen, Larry. I get a little different when crypto's pumping. I get so happy, y'all. You can tell in my live streams, man. When crypto get back in that green, I'm totally different. But anyway, so the result, listen at this. In 2008, we see the double 88. Gwen laughing. Gwen been following me for a long time. She probably can tell, right? And so 2008, 80 ounces of silver against a sale of 1 ounce of gold, 80 ounces of silver, would have made you a profit of $1,520 in silver. And guess what? You would have had a $550 loss in gold. So now, people, that silver to gold ratio is 90 to 1. In 2008, it was 80 to 1. Again, the gold to silver ratio equals the amount of ounce it will take, right? The amount of silver it would take to equal 1 ounce of gold. It takes 90 ounces of silver right now. 90 of these, 90, to equals one of these. That's how you know which one to buy. That's just a money lesson. So Matt Muse says, do I think crypto will fall again? Anything could be manipulated. We got housing market that's going to be manipulated. I'm looking at this article right now. Home builders plunges in July because house buyers are opting out. They're not buying homes. They're opting out of the deals. And so new home construction has stopped. So that's manipulated because, most people are like, houses are too expensive. And then, the government is going to raise the cost of, if money was cheap, debt was cheap to borrow. But when the government have these meetings and they raise the base points, they make debt more expensive to borrow. So with that being said, it's a long way to answer. Do I think crypto will crash again? Now, personally, I don't want it to, but I have the mental mindset that if it does, I know that just comes with it, right? Now, I read an article yesterday. Robert Kiyosaki said he's waiting on Bitcoin to get to $1,100. Now, as much as I love 1111, do I want to see Bitcoin at $1,100? No. But it is very possible because this going into the recession and depression, it is so manipulated. Like any catastrophic, any black swan event can happen. So I'm not saying no, never. The lowest price that I thought Bitcoin could possibly crash at was 11,000, not 1,100 like Robert Kiyosaki predicts. But if that does happen, Matt, this is why I'm stacking up my cash flow, right? And I'm going to talk about that. I do have silver, but I have investments that increase my cash flow. I have assets. And so, Matt, the answer to that is it could, but with regulations coming in October, I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of people that this can pump crypto going into October, and a lot of people can get rich by October. It all depends on which way the global government, this is not just the United States thing. This is a global reset. So it all depends on how they're going to flip this regulations, right? Now, with that being said, let me wrap this up with cash flow. I gave you why you need to go to my website, Queen of Coin Silver. Let me tell you why you need to test cash flow if you're not already connected with me. Okay. You know, I love teaching about the past, present, and the future of money, right? Let's say, because I have this dollar bill right here. I'm a very visual teacher. Let's say that in 1980, this $1 bill, I wasn't born till 78, so I'm just saying, look, don't leave me comments and say, "Now, Queen, in 1980, Coca-Cola was not that price," right? I'm assuming, I'm just gonna say, for teaching purposes, I was 2 years old in 1980, so I don't know what the price of Coke was, but I'm just gonna use 1980. I've been talking about 2008 and the 70s, and I'm just gonna use 1980. Let's say in 1980, you can buy a can of Coke for 25 cents, right? Let's say you can buy a can of Coke for 25 cents in 1980. So this $1 bill could buy you 4 cans of Coke, Coca-Cola. And let's tie Matthew 25 into this. And so a $1 bill could buy you 4 cans of Coke in 1980. And instead of, maybe a person took this $1 bill and they decided that I'm going to hide it under my mattress. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this $1 bill. Right? They decided to save it. And we're going to tie in, because, I love teaching money from a biblical perspective. So we're going to tie in Matthew 25. Let's say they were the person that saved their money, like the servant in Matthew 25, right? He dug his money in the ground. He hid his money. And so they saved his $1 bill. And now in 2022, they pull out this $1 bill that they've been saving from 1980. And they go to the store and say, "I want to buy a can of Coke." Right? They want to buy a can of Coke. Well, in 1980, this $1 bill could have got them 4 cans of Coke at $25, not including tax, right? I mean, at 25 cents for a can of Coke. Now in 2022, you need 2 of these dollars. So this is why savers are losers. Now, this silver coin at approximately $24 an ounce can buy the same cans of Coke in 2022 as you could in 1980. 25 cents an ounce. But now the dollar is not worth what it was in 1980 due to inflation. This is why people that save money, as Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, says, they are losers. He says savers are losers. This is why savers are losers. Because now that dollar cannot buy you the product or the amount that it could in 1980 because it's devalued. It's lost much of its purchasing power. And inflation has caused the price to increase. So we live in a capitalistic society. We live in capitalism, which means that big businesses does not raise the prices of their products based on the value of things. They raise the prices of, because Coca-Cola, the ingredient hasn't changed. It's still the same Coca-Cola, more or less, that it was in 1980 as it is in 2022. But big business in a capitalistic society, capitalism is that people, you have to be in business to make it ahead. If you see behind me, I also have Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. And if you're not on the right side, if you're not getting taxed the way a big business can get taxed, Saving and budgeting your money is not going to help you. Because when you budget means this is the amount of money I can afford on this product, right? I can afford cable at $20 a month, right? That's what budgeting is. I can afford $400 worth of food, right? That's what budgeting represents. But big businesses says we don't care what you can afford. We're going to raise these prices. And either you level up or you're going to lose out. I can afford $20 cable. Netflix said, okay, good for you. But our basic cable is $40. So what now? I can afford $400 worth of groceries. Well, in 1980, that would give you 10 bags of groceries that can feed your family for a month. Now in 2022, $400 may give you 5 bags of groceries that feeds your family for 2 weeks. So whether you can afford, whether you can budget that amount or not, after 2 weeks, you're going to have to find some new money, right? You're going to have to find some new money. Who's count that 800 discount already done? The ones who count that 800 discount already, I don't know what they mean. You're going to have to find some new money. And this is what I do. Again, I love teaching. I love teaching money from the biblical perspective. I do like Jesus did with Peter. Peter said, Jesus, we have a tax bill, right? We. And Jesus said, well, the king's kids don't even pay taxes anyway. You know, you have my kingdom. For people that say we're in God's economy, I'm in God's economy. I rebuke recession. I'm in God's economy. Well, God told Peter, yeah, you know, technically in my kingdom, the king's kids don't even pay taxes. But you're not in my kingdom. You're not in heaven. You're not in the earth, in the heaven realm. We're in the earth realm. And when in Rome, we're going to do what the Romans do. God said, we're not going to disrespect the laws, the government laws of the earth. And the government laws is to pay taxes. So even though I am God, but I am Jesus in his physical body, I'm going to respect government laws and we're going to pay taxes, Peter. This is how I want you to do. I'm going to show you how to find new money from an old occupation, because Peter was a fisherman. That's what he did. He was a fisherman. He owned a business. Jesus used and leveraged Peter's boat to preach the gospel. He said, you know that business you got? He said, yeah. He said, I want you to go fishing, go to work, but do a new strategy from an old job. And you're going to find, Peter, when you pull out the first fish, this time you're going to find gold in the fish's mouth. And we're going to pay government taxes on earth. So people that's, you know, always against taxes, if you don't shift to the right side, you're always going to pay high income taxes out of your paycheck, out of your small business. And the way you do that is a very inexpensive strategy where I can help you find more money out your paycheck. And when you help other people do the same thing, you can get passive income. Increase your credit scores. But just like Peter had to go to work, you're going to have to take action. I'm not telling you something that's going to work in theory. And this is why some Christians, they can tithe, they can give, and they still going to struggle in this earth realm financially with money. Until you learn these concepts and principles, TD Jakes, I uploaded this video on my YouTube, said it yesterday, that the government says it's the church's responsibility to feed the poor, take care of the widow, which is true, right? According to the Bible. He said, but we only get 10% from a few people. The government gets 35 to 40% from all people. And as long as you are, for every dollar that you earn and every dollar that you save, as long as you're giving the government 35 to 40% of every dollar that you earn off the top, You will never be able to have enough money that you truly need to invest in crypto or silver, and where you can invest in that money, that even if crypto take a dip, even if it takes the next year for you to get that $1,520 return on your silver, if you're cash flow neutral or cash flow negative, you're going to sell your birthrights. You're going to sell your future abundance. You're going to sell your millionaire rights. And you're going to flip cryptocurrency back into government's depreciating asset, which is cash, because you might have some unexpected bills because you're not in positive cash flow. And this is going to delay your opportunity to get wealth in this wealth transfer. All right. So you all, let me go check on this food and get that phone call. Thank you all so much. And Gwen, thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate it. But people, get your crops, get your coins up, silver, not gold, cryptocurrency, blue chips, cryptos, and get your cash flow. Stop giving the government 35 to 40% of every dollar you earn, and increase your credit scores. It is a lie that you've been told that you have to live with bad credit. People, bad credit can always be improved and increased. So test cash flow, right? And take action today. By your very next pay period, you can virtually, everyone on my team, on average, my latest success story is she got $600 more out of her paycheck that she did not know she had, because she tests cash flow. My newest business partner. So test cash flow and get your passive residual income streams up. That's why I have Queen of Coin Silver on there too, because you can also get free silver and residual income at the same time. So why go on these online Ampex and JD Bullion and purchase your silver when you don't have an opportunity to get residual income from it? They can give you free silver. So if you're going to get silver, get it a smarter way. And also, people, don't pay out 12, 15, 20% of bad interest because you have bad credit. And then, that wipes out any crypto gains that you can get. So get your credit fixed and maximize your cash flow. Whether you get more money out of your paycheck, max that paycheck out, get that money back to you so you can really have investing income. And if you have a small business, we have 4 months left to file taxes. You can get thousands back, and you might have to get your credit fixed too. You can get thousands more back in taxes if you're a small traditional business owner that you will not get under your LLC, or maybe you are a C Corp or an S Corp. So get thousands back, and that's money you invest and you flip it, right, in assets that's going to be used for this great reset. You all, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and share button. Queen out.